Mike Cardano with Roto Experts and the Fantasy Sports Network here with you to provide our Week 9 Market Share Report. And this is the segment where we review the previous week's on-field action, highlighting the wide receivers that earned the most targets, the running backs that received the most carries, and we take a look at which players saw the most chances to score inside the red zone. And you're going to want to pay special attention when you hear me talk about market share. This is a metric that we use to identify which players are getting the highest percentage of their team's play calling. And since we know that opportunity breeds success, well, it's something that you're going to want to be conscious of in your decision making as you compose your tournament rosters. So why are we so focused on targets when we do these features? Well, a target is a pass thrown in the direction of a receiver. And since receivers are dependent on their quarterbacks to score fantasy points, well, targets are essential to fantasy success. Now, receivers were the key to big scores this past week, and once again, the target leaderboard is home to most of the top overall plays. Jeremy Maclin led all receivers in targets and DraftKings points with 16 targets and 45.7 points. 5 other receivers topped 30 points on the leaderboard with a mix of cheap and expensive players. Half of the receivers that eclipsed 10 targets scored over 20 points. Now, while most of the receivers that earned 10 points or more succeeded, there were also some big disappointments. Brandon Marshall headlines that list with just 6.5 points on his 10 targets. Marshall was the only receiver to earn 10 targets that failed to tally double-digit DraftKings points. In total, 19 players saw at least 10 targets this week with an average score of 22.06 DraftKings points. Once again, if you were able to correctly identify players receiving double-digit targets, well, you had a great chance of recouping value on that price tag. Well, we finally had a week where DeMarco Murray didn't lead the league in carries, but he once again delivered a healthy 28 DraftKings points on 19 carries. Le'Veon Bell and Mark Ingram were the carry leaders this week, but combined for just 1 touchdown despite their teams racking up a total of 95 points this week. Arian Foster was the top running back scorer with 42.3 points as he found the end zone twice on his 20 carries. Now, the big disappointments on the carry leaderboard were once again running backs that do not contribute in the passing game. Anthony Dixon turned 22 carries into just 4.4 DraftKings points, while Alfred Morris found the end zone and was able to turn in a respectable 15.5 points. Volatility at the running back position was elevated in Week 8, as only a handful of running backs were difference makers at the position. As is usually the case, the elite running back plays came from the running backs who earned the most carries. In total, 19 running backs saw at least 15 carries in Week 8. They averaged 17.57 DraftKings points, which fell considerably below the wide receiver averages this week. This highlights the value of the wide receiver position on DraftKings, where a full point per reception bonus is how it's scored. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the RedZone opportunities leaderboard for this week. Now remember, a RedZone opportunity is simply defined as a carry or a target on a play that starts inside the opponent's 20-yard line. Historically, these opportunities are more valuable the closer you get to the goal line, as touchdown rates increase with each yard closer to the opponent's end zone. Jonas Gray led the way in Week 8 with 8 RedZone opportunities, but he failed to find the end zone. This was a common issue for the RedZone opportunity leaderboard this week. Half of the players who received at least 4 RedZone opportunities failed to find the end zone this week. This was an unusual week in terms of RedZone conversion rates for running backs, which was one of the primary reasons wide receivers led the way. Arian Foster was the only running back on the list to convert twice inside the red zone, and the touchdown production helped fuel a monstrous 42.3 DraftKings points day. For more in-depth analysis on market share leaders for the rest of the season, head on over to RotoExperts.com and sign up for the Daily Fantasy Football Package. Our experts, Drew Dinkmeyer and Mike Leone, get you ready each week with strategy articles, site-specific cheat sheets, and recommendations that highlight the top value plays each week, and they send you updated injury information right to your inbox with our lineup alerts feature. Become a member of the Daily Fantasy Rundown team at RotoExperts.com by signing up for the Daily Fantasy Football Package. For Roto Experts, the Fantasy Sports Network, I'm Mike Cardano.